Hey guys, how are you? Type A here again. So I was lurking more in the network channel, trying to look for another cool techniques to implement in Bitwig, and I found this video about using the arpeggiator to kind of like create breaks and remix a loop on the fly using the arpeggiator. And yeah, so check for this one if you want to know where the initial idea came from. So basically, Bitwig's arpeggiator is not like the Ableton Live. This one is a bit more simple. So he's using a function in the transpose part, which you can shift the step by different increments and kind of the repetitions. And you originally I was trying to achieve that just with the arpeggiator, messing around with this or other effects like the multi note or the note echo, and it's not the same result. But then I think about that we can use the note pitch shifter, and that this device not only moves by octaves, but you can shift the semitones. And I just needed to find the right position for a steps modulator to kind of like shift and three steps at a time. So it now sounds like super interesting, and let me walk you through what I just did with the same example, so you can kind of like get an idea of how this might work in any with any loop. So I try with different loops, but I think break stuff and like this type of percussion usually works best because I do recommend this for percussion. You need to experiment with other types of samples. So basically, this was the loop that I use is the Amen break, and it sounds like this. The original is on 174 BPM, and I'm just gonna play the original tempo. Well, this is not exactly the Amen break. This is kind of like an edit of the Amen break, but it was in my folder. So what you want to do is to again slice to multi-sample and use the onset that will create 36 slices. So okay, um, okay, let me. So now what you have is this. So the first steps will be to add the arpeggiator, and we want to play in eighth notes. So the original idea that he was implementing was already in the arpeggiator shift the notes by three. So it will play the first three notes just by holding the first C1 note, something like that. And yeah, we cannot do this just with this device alone. So we need to bring a note pitch shifter. And if you mess with this, you can see now that if I move that, it's going to increase. Even if we are holding the same note, it's going to increase. So because we're using an arpeggiator, if we hold more than one note at a time, it's going to shift between the notes. But we basically want to get variation with just one note and combine them to create more interesting patterns if we need to. So now we can basically add a step sequencer, and I was kind of like thinking that this will be harder to set up, but if you try to map this to the semi, you see that it goes for a while, and it's basically because one step is basically one semitone. So just three here, and then I'm gonna set three here as well. I don't want to go far beyond that, and I want to move this by node advance. The arpeggiator is going to move the node pitch shifter by one increment. Yeah, so basically try something like this. And we have the same behavior that he has in Ableton Live. I'm holding now three notes like C0, F sustain. I don't know how people say that in English. F sustain and G. Now, if you mess around with the tempo, you can do more like breakcore kind of deal, like 240, for instance. Yeah, so this is an interesting way to kind of like remix on the fly a loop, a percussion loop you have. You can use part of this loop to kind of like interject with your other more tightly programmed drums. This is really cool. It's a really cool technique, and definitely, I think with the new arpeggiator you can already do this stuff with just the arpeggiator. But I'm still rocking 313 Bitwig. I still haven't updated. I'm waiting for the official release to kind of like purchase another upgrade period. But yeah, it's really cool technique. Hope you guys like it. Peace. Bye.